Hello, hello. Welcome back to It's Only Embarrassing If You're Embarrassed podcast. My name is Madison, and thanks so much for tuning in today. This episode, we are going to be sharing about 9 ways I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity. So, we are going to be talking all things self care, positivity, ideas, tips, and tricks if you're looking for somewhere to start, and some of the things that have helped me along the way. So let's dive right in. So, the first way that I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through faith. So, being able to give my worries and concerns to God as they come up rather than trying to feel like I have to deal with them all myself or solve them myself or whatever that looks like. Being able to instead turn all of those things over to God, higher power, source, whatever you kind of connect with or resonate with, being able to give all of those things that you don't have control over up really has helped me to reprogram my mind to not be so worried and anxious. Some resources that I personally have been using is I listen to a podcast by Joyce Meyer Ministries every day where she talks about something relatable to do with just the struggles of being a human in today's society. Recently, I've also started reading the book of Psalms in the Bible. And the book of Psalms, it literally is just like a book of promises from God of all the things that he is just kind of promising for his children in the Bible. And so that's a really cool place to start if you really are not maybe sure about what kind of is yours in faith and what that looks like. The second way I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through therapy. So I personally have done talk therapy for a little while, and most recently I have started doing cognitive behavioral therapy. And so within cognitive behavioral therapy, it has really helped me to learn to change my mindset, my thinking, to be able to stop anxiety spirals, anxious spirals, all sorts of those things. Really just being able to have somebody who knows how to treat anxiety, how to treat depression, how to reprogram people's minds in order to do so through cognitive behavioral therapy. It has been super, super helpful for me. And so what that looks like is I personally generally see my therapist every like 2 to 3 weeks, and we go through really kind of whatever I'm triggered by, whatever I'm struggling with, and she gives me different ways to think about it, different perspectives, and different ways to shift my mindset in order to not be caught in those negative, anxious thought spirals. The third way I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through meditation. So if you were like me, whenever I first heard about people meditating, I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to be in silence alone with my thoughts. That sounds terrible. And so a friend actually introduced me to guided meditations. And guided meditations are super easy to do. Some of them have music in the background. Some of them actually have words, like people telling you kind of how to navigate through that meditation. Some of them walk you through breath work. Some of them do all of those things. Some of them you can find guided meditation specifically for anxiety, specifically for starting your day. That's especially the ones that I love, is I love to meditate in the mornings, and I love to be able to meditate to start my day. And so there are a lot of meditations you can find like on YouTube, guided meditations for positivity, for mornings, for reset for your day. Literally put in any of those things and you'll find a good guided meditation. And another thing about meditation is I thought you're just like sitting in silence for hours. Most of the guided meditations I do are somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. So literally they're not long, it's not a huge time commitment, and it's not something where you have to be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do sitting in silence for an hour or something like that. Not at all how you have to approach meditation. The fourth way I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through affirmations. So also something you can do on YouTube, literally just type in affirmations and you can be able to see and hear and listen to all sorts of different affirmations for positivity, for self-confidence, for self-love, for reprogramming your mind. So affirmations is something that I try to do every day now since I started doing them. And so personally how I do them is I literally let them play in the background while I'm getting ready in the morning. So normally while I'm getting ready, I have my affirmations playing, and it really just kind of gives me that extra like boost of self-love and self-confidence to really start my day out on a positive mindset and really just to be focused on myself and all the great things that there is about me. The fifth way I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through head meds. And head meds, what I wrote down is literal serotonin. So if you struggle with anxiety or depression, generally the challenge is that you have something that is missing in your brain. So some sort of chemical imbalance that does not allow you to think properly, function properly, process emotions properly, a little bit of all of them, whatever that looks like. And so one thing that I have been on for quite a while has been SSRI type medications where literally they're just flooding your brain with serotonin. And so that is personally a really great way that I have been able to literally reprogram my mind by giving it that serotonin that it needs in order to reset. The sixth way I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through relationships. And so there's a lot of ways I learned to reprogram and renew relationships in my life. I learned to create new relationships that were more aligned with myself and my interests. I learned to not be caught up on whether or not old relationships didn't work out. I learned to set boundaries in the relationships that I have. And boundaries for me was a huge thing because I personally was an always saying yes people pleaser, and I am trying to release those people pleasing tendencies that I still have and instead get comfortable saying no and really just being able to live my true authentic life. I have been some of the relationships just that I wrote down that have been really positive for me is I spend time with my mom quite a bit, love spending time with her. We're always just bebopping, doing different things, having the best time. I wrote down friends with similar interests because I feel like I kind of have, for the first time in my life, friends with like similar interests besides like going out and partying. And that is really cool and really refreshing. Then, of course, I wrote down boyfriend because I have a somewhat new boyfriend. Love spending time with him. We have the greatest time together. We do the most fun things. And that is definitely a new relationship that I really cherish. The seventh way that you can learn to reprogram your mind for positivity is through creative outlets. So I've learned that I have really a lot of creative outlets that I love to do. I love to paint and color, like give me an adult coloring book. I'm content for the day. This is a huge creative outlet for me, just being able to talk about and normalize some of the challenges of life, some of the taboo things of life, some of the challenges I've been through, some of the things I felt shame around, and instead be able to share those in a way that hopefully gives other people a way to normalize those things. I also have found that reading is a huge creative outlet for me. So I am a part of this book of the month club where I get to pick a different book every month that comes. And so I really enjoy this because every month it's kind of like a new adventure in my mind that I'm going on with this book. I'm the kind of person, like if I read a book, like I'm basically like coming up with like a slideshow story in my mind as I'm reading the book. So it's like such a fun experience for me. It's such just like a cool creative outlet where you can make the book really just whatever you want it to be. Another creative outlet that I've learned that I love is writing. So writing, journaling, doing all the things like that to be able to express challenges, feelings, anger, resentment, all those sorts of things, being able to like get it out has been such a fun creative outlet for me, and also a way that's allowed me to probably part with a lot of things that I've been holding on to. And so that obviously has been really positive in itself. The eighth way I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through finding a workout that I love. So I have always been like pretty like athletic, I guess. I swam in high school, and then in college I was always going to the gym, and then in early adulthood I just kind of kept going to the gym, but I really didn't enjoy it. I like did it because I felt like, you know, you have to go to the gym. So then I started probably like 4 or 5 months ago going to Pure Barre, which is unlike any other workout that I've ever done, and I absolutely love it. and it's a workout that I really enjoy. And obviously, being able to find a way just to move your body in a way that you enjoy and you're excited about and give yourself those natural endorphins obviously is a huge way to reprogram your mind. And then in addition, I think once you find a workout that you love and you're getting in really good shape and you're seeing the results, that's again just like more like kind of positivity and confidence and self-love that you're building in yourself. And as you're realizing like you can get stronger, you do have the strength to do these workouts, your body is looking different because of that, like all those things. So I really think that is just a huge way, finding a way to move your body in a way that feels aligned for you and a way that just makes you feel good. The ninth way I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity is through self-love. So I have kind of always been the person that I put myself on the back burner. I always put other people first, work, whatever. And then whatever time I have left, I'm like, okay, what can I like do for myself? And so now I'm trying to have the other mindset where I'm like, okay, what are the things that I need to do to take care of myself? And then planning the rest of my life around that. So one thing that has really helped me is having a morning routine. So right now my morning routine consists of doing a daily devotional, reading the Bible, listening to Joyce Meyer's podcast, meditating, doing affirmations, and then normally trying to set my intentions for the day. And so that sounds like a lot of work, but literally I can do it all in like 30 minutes and like while I'm getting ready. And so literally by getting up 30 minutes earlier and taking the time to do those things to set my mind on the right step for the day has helped me tremendously in my journey. Some other self-love things that I wrote down are facials. I've been getting a facial probably every month or every other month for maybe like 2 years now. And it is so good. Like it's a whole pampering experience. I feel so good about it, but it's also definitely like an investment you have to make in yourself as far as time and money goes. And so whenever I just committed, like I was going to do that, I was going to get my facials, I was going to take care of myself. Now it's just such a fun experience for me to go get my facial done. I go to Hand and Stone in Greensboro, and I see Kayla. She's a doll. So if you're watching this and you're in Greensboro, she is she does the most amazing facials, and she's such a sweetheart. Also, I've been getting Botox, and I love getting Botox, let me tell you. So that has been like a really fun self-love thing for myself that like I wanted to do for a super long time, and then I finally just committed, and now I love it. Another self-love thing I did was getting laser hair removal. And so I don't know, like okay, first of all, whenever you sign up to get laser hair removal, they're like, oh yeah, it doesn't really hurt. Bullshit. Bullshit. It hurts a lot. So that's all I want to say. I would 10 out of 10 recommend having it done, but like after it's done, like the results are amazing, the process, oh, but nonetheless, I got laser hair removal done, and that has been a super just like cool and fun self-care thing. I also now try to keep up getting my hair and nails done, as far as like getting my grays covered and getting manicures and just different things like that that just make me feel good about myself. My final and I think probably most important self-love thing that I do is me days. So normally one Saturday or Sunday a month, I make an intention to have literally no plans and to just do whatever my body feels like that day. So if that feels like I want to record a bunch of podcasts, or I want to read or write, or I want to literally sleep, or I just want to lay around on the couch, or I want to go to Target, or I want to go eat pasta, like literally whatever my body feels like that day, I literally plan that day in for myself, one day a month, and it really helps me to reset, recharge, and to not feel as burnt out as I used to in past stages of life. All right, so a quick little recap, 9 ways I learned to reprogram my mind for positivity. I learned this through faith, through therapy, through meditation, through affirmations, through taking medication for anxiety and depression, through positive relationships, through finding creative outlets, through finding a way to move my body that felt good and felt aligned for me, and finally, through self-love, taking care of myself and putting myself first. And so all of these ways have helped me tremendously to be able to reset and reprogram my mind in a way where I am more more focused on just all life has to offer and the beauty that is life, rather than being focused on what could go wrong or what things haven't worked out. So if you guys liked this episode, please leave a review. If you guys thought somebody would benefit from this, please share it with them. If you guys have ways that you programmed your mind for positivity, please drop them in the comments below. Would love to hear what you guys are doing. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. It's Only Embarrassing If You're Embarrassed podcast is out every week. New episodes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays is mental health episode where we unpack something in the world of mental health. And then Wednesdays and Fridays are just different episodes every week. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And as always, happy healing.